Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Hi everyone, it is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here, and welcome to another great edition of the JMOR Tech Talk Show. It's great to be with you here on another Friday evening, May 20th, and we have another great show for you guys tonight. Lots of great information for you. You might have noticed that I have a hat on me. Well, this hat, if you haven't caught it, says believe and achieve. Before you can achieve anything, you need to believe it. And you could scan the QR code, or you can go directly to my link, which is just believemeachieve.com. Got to get a little sip of water there. When we do it live, we never know if we're going to need water or going to cough on something. So we do what we need to do. Anyway, today I got a great show for you. And just to start off with, where we're at, I think the biggest question has been, and I'm sure this is no surprise to everyone, what's going on with Elon Musk? Still need some more water. Okay, that's a little better. So anyway, what is going on with him? And that is Elon Musk suddenly decides to put his bid on hold for Twitter. So what does this mean to everybody? Well, I think in one regard, it means that the deal is probably gone south. There are other options, of course. Beside the deal falling apart, which I believe it is, Musk may want a lower price. And then again, he's going to have to pay a $1 million breakup fee if he decides to not continue with a purchase. So this could be an issue. And if you're thinking that it's about spam, well, Twitter says that about 5% or less is actually the accounts that are considered fake. So not sure what Elon's doing there. I don't know why he wanted to purchase it. I don't know if he really had a plan or if this was like a whim of his. I don't know. I personally don't think it's something he wants, and he might really be trying to understand that now. But again, he owes them a $1 million breakup fee if he decides not to continue through and make a further offer. So that's going to be a big problem for him. And we'll definitely keep you updated with the story and what's happening as things kind of progress. Well, in other news, our good friends Apple, they look to boost productions outside of China. Yeah, outside of China, Apple is looking to boost production. So what does this really mean? That's a great question. Well, Apple had told some of its contractors, also, which is basically their contract manufacturers, that it wants to increase production outside of China. The Wall Street Journal, and I quote, reported, citing people familiar with the matter. And what I want to say to you is that India and Vietnam, which are already sites of Apple production, are among the countries shortlisted by the company as alternatives. And the report also added that Apple last month's forecast had a bigger supply issue as COVID lockdowns still continued to slow production and demand in China. So they're looking for a way, because obviously Apple is losing big, big money. And we all know that when the new iPhone comes out, hopefully it'll come out again, maybe the end of the year, it's going to cause a problem when Apple can't get these products to the street, whether it's chip shortage issues or whatever it is. they need to figure a way, or it's going to affect their bottom line. So I think Apple's really trying to get this resolved sooner than later, because obviously it's going to put a big dent into their pocketbooks. So that is really a situation that I guess we're going to have to look at and see, what's going on. But we'll keep you definitely abreast of what's going on with Apple and, of course, the rest of the market. So another interesting thing that's happening, speaking about chips just before, one of the big chip, manufacturer, ASML, places big bets on a tiny future. And so why are they saying that? Well, it's because of some new technology that they're actually working on. An optical system prepared for testing in a vacuum chamber at the Carl Zeiss SMT in Oberkochlen, Germany, is this undated precedent of some recent handouts many have seen, and this thing is quite remarkable. It develops an optical system that will go into the newest tools being developed by ASML of the Netherlands to create a new generation of computer chips. This Helmut Isler Zeiss device is going to be a manufacturing facility, is going to make a big change, because I think what it's going to do, as we all know how we're able to put more information in when we make the chips more denser. And even though the chips are smaller, we're packing more information in a shorter period. We did this by stacking. Now we're using other technology. So I think this might help. However, I think it might drive the cost of chip production up, because anytime R&D has to go into a chip, it's a serious problem. And people are wondering, are we going to even be able to get these chips, or is this going to be something that's promised, but we just can't get? So we're going to have to see what's going to happen. And, they're building lots of new machines to help put together these new types of chips. And they're hoping that they're going to have a big market, because a lot of manufacturers are going to want to put smaller chips in. But smaller chips, ladies and gentlemen, I think are going to cost more money, because, again, there is more R&D that goes into them. Yes, it's less chip, but you're still got to pay for the R&D that went into that chip production system. So I think that might be something that might halt process for a little while, and then I believe it might pick up, and then the cost on the production will come down once a lot of people are using the ASML manufactured chips. So that's going to be very interesting, and we'll have to see what happens, but we'll definitely keep following up on that story for you guys as well. All right, some other interesting news. We all know 3M, the manufacturer. Well, they were ordered to pay $77.5 million to veterans, actually to veterans in situations. And so this is veterans in the latest, ladies and gentlemen. It's the latest earplug trial. So this is pretty interesting, because, we don't hear this often, especially with the reputation that 3M has. But just recently, a jury in Pensacola, Florida, federal court on Friday today basically ordered the $3 million to be paid, and $77.5 million to a U.S. Army veteran who said he suffered hearing damage as a result of using the company's military-issued earplugs. Now, is that true or not? We'd like to think that they're being honest, but we have no way of proving this. So the verdict for veteran James Beal is the largest yet for an individual in a very large litigation over earplugs that, as of middle of May, included more than 290,000 claims in the Pensacola court, by far the largest amount of tort litigations in the United States history. Wow. And the Beal trial was the last of an initial set of 16 trials held to test the strength of plaintiffs' claims and facilitate settlement tasks and talks. And of those so-called bellwether trials, plaintiffs prevailed in 10, winning a total of nearly $300 million. Jury sided with 3M in the remaining 6. So that tells me that some of these people coming up for the money, because we've seen this in trials before, especially with people faking that they actually got hurt in a car accident. And then they suddenly have whiplash when the next day you see them walking around. And then when you see the person, oh, I left my brace at home, but oh, my neck's hurting me. They're so full of it. So I'd have to say that it's funny that it's taking this long. I'd like to know when they originally started reporting the loss, because how long does it actually take for ear loss? I mean, how many years, if we had to ask that question, how many years from ear damage does it take for loss? Um, they're saying that, basically it can happen immediately, but it can take many, many years. So I guess they're not untrue, but my question is, did they do anything else? Was there anything else loud in their environment? Okay. So this is a concern. What age they work there, how many years different, which is the only reason for age, to where they are now. How many years is it different to know? And was there a big issue? Or is this something people are just jumping on the bandwagon? Hey, Bob, you can get a few million if you come here. I don't know. So I'm not really believing the fact that the jury sided with the 6 of 3M tells me that some of these cases were BS. And whenever something happens where people think they can get money, they all try to jump on that bandwagon and believe that they're just going to win because, they want to get money. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of on the side for 3M on some of it. I don't have the facts, so I can't really tell you the truth. Although I know a lot of cases that I've seen, you see a lot of these big law firms, and they say, well, if you recently had surgery, if you recently did this, or if you're recently involved in this, that you may be eligible for a settlement. Like they're putting thoughts in people's heads. They don't even have an issue, but they're kind of creating this issue. So I don't know. I don't know how much of it is really legitimate. So that is a problem. So speaking about food being hard to get, but did you know that baby formula is now being airlifted? Wow. So that's pretty incredible. Food's hard to get in some parts of the country and certain types of food. And now with a nationwide shortage of baby formula continue to cause anxiety for parents, the Biden administration announced it has secured its first cargo of formula from overseas and will soon fly the shipment to the United States. White House officials have said that they reached an agreement late Thursday with Nestle to transfer the equivalent of up to 1.5 million 8-ounce bottles of formula from Switzerland to Indiana. The formula, all of which is hypoallergenic and so suitable, they say, for infants who are allergic to cow milk, will then be transported to areas in most critical need. According to Kate Chapman, editor at LinkedIn News, courtesy of them. So I think we have to be, understanding. Everybody wants to raise the price tag. COVID's here. I keep hearing, well, because of COVID. Just the other day in my homeowners organization, they were saying they're raising common area maintenance fees. And I said, why? Well, they said, we're raising it more because of COVID. And I said, well, why? Well, because we had to pay a lot of money out. So everybody's using the COVID excuse. I go to my dentist and I'm like, what's that $25 fee on my bill? Oh, that's a COVID processing fee. I said, what do you mean? Well, we have to put extra gallons. I said, I don't think they seem any different. So I think this is nonsense. And I think the real issue is that people need to speak up and say, look, enough of this COVID nonsense that you need to be charging me. I'm not saying that COVID's over. I'm saying it's probably in remission. I'm not saying it's totally gone. However, we need to not blow it up so much and try to extort people for money when there's no need for it. They're using this as what I like to call the software vendors get rich quick update. It's not a really good version, but it's designed to make them a lot of money. I don't know. So I have a problem with this whole thing that's going on across the country and what people are doing and not doing and how we can just literally make excuses for people to pay more money because they're claiming due to a COVID region or COVID shortage. I mean, we're still having issues getting certain technology products. We're being told anywhere from 60 to 180 days. So we have to tell the client that's what it's going to take. Now, that's a big, big issue. Really big issue. I don't know. I feel that America right now is getting so many COVID excuses, right? There are so many COVID excuses out there. And a lot of customers, according to the BBC, are saying that customers are fed up with COVID excuses for bad service. You know, you call a company and they're still working from home. I don't care if they're working from home, but they're using cheap technology. The companies can afford it, but they're being too cheap. They're not giving them the right communication protocols and equipment. They're giving them a cheap laptop, internet that's not very stable, and that's how they're running their customer service. I mean, customers are fed up with being told they're getting poor service because of COVID, and this is according to a lot of research. And firms are being accused of using the pandemic as an excuse for long waits on telephone lines and late deliveries. And recently, the UK Institute of Customer Service said, and I quote, it said that consumers were initially tolerant of delays and other issues as business fought to cope with the effects of the crisis. But it said a blanket excuse was no longer sufficient. I agree. The NS&Is must work hard to win back customers and bid to make financial terms and conditions a lot clearer to people. So, you know, this is a very, very big problem. I was speaking to another lady the other day who was starting a company, and she was trying to sell NSFTs, right? But she was doing it in a weird way. She was doing it to try to do it as a membership. So if you pay more money, you should get better service, right? Well, not according to a lot of these companies. Their excuse is, well, we're sorry about that. And they say these exact words. We're sorry about that one. That's not even proper English, right? So how are we supposed to run our businesses? I mean, many of us are business owners, myself being a serial entrepreneur. Some of you work for companies. How do we provide good quality service, and how do we keep revenue coming in when this is an extreme problem? It is. Thus, I know that companies are gouging people left and right. Prices are going up at the food market. Prices are going up in distribution warehouses. Prices are going up for lots of things. And we all know price is going up for gas, right? So everybody says to me, John, you know, when the big $1 million question is, when is the price of gas going down? It's a conundrum. Will gas prices ever go down? So a few people are theorizing that to relieve current pressures at the fuel pump, but they don't expect gas prices to go meaningfully lower soon. As it becomes increasingly more painful to fill up your gas tank, you might well be wondering, will gas prices go down? But the thing is this, fuel prices feel like they've been on a never-ending ride going higher of late. A year later, the national average price of regular unleaded gas was $2.96 per gallon, according to the AAA travel website. A month ago, it was $4.12, and it's now around $4.33 and continuing to climb. Just the other day, I think it was like almost $4.59, and it's heading up. So I think people right now are getting fed up with putting gas in their car. And I know one thing, I'm not putting the premium gas in my car anymore. I'm actually putting in the lowest gas and then giving the last 5 gallons, the premium. And then once a month, I give my car, I call it a candy bar, I give it a full tank of premium gasoline. But these are all challenges, and they're all coming because they're creating this shortage. But we all know this shortage doesn't really exist. So maybe the issue is that Biden needs to open up the pipeline, but they've shut that down. So what is our government doing? What is industry doing? What is OPEC doing? Because this is a natural phenomenon that keeps seeming to get worse. And I know it frustrates more people that I talk to each day, and they just don't have a clear answer. And everyone says, well, whenever Russia does this, whenever Russia does that, it's going to change. But it takes time. And so does that mean that prices this year for toys for Christmas and Hanukkah and other holidays, that they're going to soar through the roof? I think so. I remember the other day buying a printer and being in the industry. I mean, we get them very reasonably. Well, we couldn't get it from our normal suppliers, even from the manufacturer. So we found somebody that had it online to one of these mass sites. The printer was about $350 at the price we're supposed to pay. And with the retail, maybe it's like $4 something. That same printer, same exact model, same everything, brand new. I wound up buying that for my parents for almost $850. Now that's ludicrous, right? That's ludicrous. That's what 50. That's 100%. Just about 100% increase. Then I love the website to say, "Oh well, we can't ship it to you, but we have a COVID processing shipping protocol." Then they blow another $50 to $125 on the item. I remember ordering a printer for my parents months ago, and after putting the right order in, they shipped the wrong printer. We get the printer, it doesn't have fax on it. So we send it back. Then we order another printer. We're supposed to get the other printer. Well, we bring the printer back to like one of those shipping stores. I'm not going to mention the name. And so we bring it back to them. And you know what happens in a day or two? We thought we were getting the new printer. The same printer that we got delivered shows up again with our address on it. I'm like, what are these people doing? The people at these shipping stores, a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them, they're just not doing their job. And when I went there to politely inform them and complain, they told me to go somewhere else, that they don't need my business. And I said, this is terrible. They're giving us inferior service, but yet you're getting annoyed when you're not even delivering the service that you should. And just to give you a little FYI, I can tell you this was in a part of West Florida at one of these chains. And I'm not going to mention the name, but you know there's probably two major chains that do shipping and mailing and postage and stuff like that. So knowing that they did something wrong, you think that they would do the right thing. They just took it like it was our fault. And I'm like, excuse me? This is a problem. The level of service that we're getting from merchants is so subpar. And I think it's because, and nothing against people that are retired or partly retiring, they don't care. They don't give a darn. They just want to walk in there. They want to low a gag. My dad used to have a phrase when my mom had a business many years ago. And he used to say, you know, our business, you know, this isn't the country club. The country club's across the street. Or the country club's, you know, down the street. What do you mean a country club? Well, you know, we come here, we're doing our work. You get your Teller ham and egg and cheese sandwich, and you're eating it. There's a customer coming in, and he's like, well, I'm eating my sandwich. Well, you know, we need to take care of the customers first. And so we have always come up with, myself and my family and their generations, that service is a given. And we've learned from Disney, despite what's going on right now, you need to underpromise and overdeliver. When you're on time, ladies and gentlemen, you are late. I don't care if we're talking about a limo driver. I don't care if you're talking about a delivery. When you're on time, you're late. Thus, you tell somebody the delivery will be ready at 4, you better have that delivery ready at like 3:45. So when they come at 4 o'clock, oh yeah, it was ready at 3:45. We wanted to make sure it was ready for you. See, that's the kind of service that we want. And that's the kind of service people will pay money for. They won't pay money for, oh, you know, we are like the best. Yeah, you're the best, but you're always late. That's a problem. And you might say, John, well, it depends on what you're spending. I don't care if you're buying a copy for 49 cents or 59 cents or even a black and white copy for 15 cents, or you're spending thousands of dollars on custom booklets. Service needs to be there all the time. And this is a great big problem in the United States of America. And this is why our manufacturing has been getting pushed out to other countries. Why? Because saying, well, we can't afford to pay our US people. Pay more money. People will pay more money. We'll get better services. I was at a company the other day, and one of my companies is a printing and marketing company and production company. And I said to them, I said, where's the stuff? He says, John, he says, we ordered this 9 days ago. And it was supposed to be here yesterday, and we haven't gotten it. And we're missing 9 pieces that we need to deliver for 8 different customers. I said, oh my gosh. And I said, well, next time you have this, I said, reach out to us. I said, we not only are on time, but we'll personally deliver it to you. So I think there's a difference. There's nothing wrong with big companies, okay? However, when the big company doesn't have the dichotomy of understanding that it's all about family and personal service, your big company is worth squat. Now, there's a big company that starts with an A. I'm not going to mention their name. They have the worst customer service in the world. You call them up, you get some fancy greeting, then you press buttons to go through their stupid menus. Then you get somebody and say, can I talk to a U.S. representative, please? Then they try to qualify. I'm like, no, don't qualify me. Just get me to a U.S. representative. You got the U.S. representative, and then they're somewhat helpful. The best is when this company makes a delivery and they deliver it wrong. I had a drone delivered by this company. And I think I ordered it on Monday. It was supposed to get there on Wednesday. And I came in Thursday morning. They said it was delivered. I said, where is it? Oh, it was delivered last night at 10 o'clock. Where? Oh, it was delivered to this address. Where'd they put it? Oh, they left it in the parking lot. You left it in a public parking lot at 10 o'clock at night? Just right in the parking lot? I mean, somebody's going to take it. It was a $1,000 drone. Oh, I see. I'm sorry about that one. I'm like, I want another drone. Well, that's going to be complicated because, you see, we can't do that. Oh, you can't? No, we can't. You're going to have to wait 7 days. Meanwhile, you took the money out of my banking account. So I said, I'm going to file a complaint. Oh, well, you can definitely do that, but you'll get your product. It's just going to take 7 days. Then we'll issue a refund and we'll get you another one. That same day, which was Thursday morning, I went online and filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau for the state for which they were incorporated. And I filed a complaint with the District Attorney General's office and Consumer Affairs. Do you know what happened by the next day? I think it was 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. They said, Mr. Morley, there was no need to file a complaint. We were already issuing the refund. Baloney, you were issuing the refund. When you document things and you submit them to other places and agencies, to CYA, right? But I'll tell you something. If I hadn't filed that, I can bet you I was not getting that refund. You know what happened on that same day I got the refund? They used the credit, shipped me out a new drone. This happened 3 times within a 10-year span that they delivered products that were expensive and they got lost because their drivers were negligent. In fact, the drivers don't have a scheduled route. They just show up and they just throw them wherever they have packages for that day. That is so poor and terrible. In fact, the guy who started the company left the company to go, play around in the space world. You probably know what company I mean. But I'm not impressed with big companies. I'm not impressed with 10-star voicemail systems. It doesn't impress me. I want people that can answer the darn phone. I said, you know what we do at our company? We have an auto attendant, but you know what we do? We actually answer our phone. We actually give service. We're actually there before the sale, right? During the sale, after the sale, and of course, beyond. Many people believe that, I've made my profit, so, I don't really have to give service. That's so terrible. But a lot of people in this industry do it, especially if they're like sole source. Oh, we're the only ones that do this, so, you're going to have to wait. And I'm like, I'm not waiting. Well, you can't get it anywhere else. That's fine. I don't want it. You don't want it? No, I don't want it. And this might baffle you, but I think when there's a problem with a product or service, even if it's specialized, the people need to boycott that company, to send a message until their owner, their manager, their director, CEO says, hey, wait a minute, we're losing a lot of business here. We better fix this. And we as individuals, citizens, you don't have to be business owners, entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, you just need to come together as one. You need to voice your opinion. But too few people will open up their mouth because they don't want to take time to send an email, file a complaint. What did it take me to do that? 5-10 minutes? And I got all my money back that next morning. I did the report at, I'm going to say whatever it was, 1 o'clock. I got the notice that the money was going back to my account that next day, Friday. I got the money by Monday or Tuesday. Pretty amazing, right? I think service is something that has lost its luster because people don't want to give service today unless they're spending a fortune. I don't care if you're buying a bottle cap, okay? Or you're buying a case of soda, or you're buying a luxury car, or you're buying a new mansion. Service should be there all the time, before, during, and after. And of course, while the sale takes place, they're always there. They're there before, they're there during the sale, but as soon as the sale's over, oh, thanks for reaching Josh. Please leave me your name and number and I'll get back to you. Or, hi, this is Marianne. With another client at the moment, but leave your name and number. Your message is important to me. Leave a message. Hi, Marianne. This is John. Just reaching out to you again. I left you a message 2 days ago. I really need you to get back to me. No call. 2 days ago, you call again. Say, look, hi, Marianne. Haven't heard back from you. Just want to let you know that I'm going to be pulling out of this deal. So now they call back all annoyed and flustered. Well, what are you doing? Well, maybe if you actually checked your messages, you'd see that this property isn't going to work for me and where it's going and the location or something. People are so self-centered that they're into themselves when we need to be concerned about others. I'm not saying don't be concerned about yourself. I'm saying that we need to have a balance. There's a town where I'm in. I'm not going to give you all those details. People become so absorbed in themselves and their family that if something else is going on, there could be a fire and they would barely do anything. I have a joke in town. It's called My Driveway's on Fire. And so my driveway's on fire and I say, hey, Maureen, would you help me? My driveway's on fire. Oh, John, I'd love to. I got to take Brendan to band practice and I got to take Carrie to cheerleading. But, just call 911. I'm sure they'll help you both. By the way, go on Facebook. Let me know you're alive later tonight. Toodles. And we laugh. But this is the precedence that this generation is setting. And they're putting that off to their kids, and they're making them lackadaisical. And this is why service in a company is not service. It's like, I hope we'll get a response. Even in my charity, when somebody had an issue, they couldn't make an event. You know what I did? I said, sorry, you're not able to make the event. Maybe you'll be able to make the next one. Here's your refund. He got back to me. He says, John, he says, I was so impressed, and my boss was so impressed that you issued a refund within 10 minutes of canceling the event after I emailed you. I said, yeah, why would I hold on to your money? I realize what's important to me, and I realize what's important to others. But the difference is I know what people want, and I want to make sure I satisfy them. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a privilege and pleasure to be with you here on May 20th for the JMOR Tech Talk Show. We have another great show coming up, the last one for this month, which will be on May 27th. And I got something huge to tell you. We're going to be celebrating JMOR's birthday for all of our channels on June 26th. It's going to be an amazing birthday party. We'll tell you more details as it comes up. And if you're in New Jersey, you're going to want to reserve a spot. Lots of free giveaways. We're going to have some people. We're going to have a live show for 3 hours indoors in nice air conditioning. So you're going to want to definitely be there for that. Some water, some juice, some delicious cake, and of course, singing happy birthday. And you may even get a chance to get on the JMOR Tech Talk show live. Pretty cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and weekend. And you know what? I'm actually going to be back next Friday, same time, 5:30 p.m. If you're looking to become a guest on the JMOR Tech Talk show, go to jmor.com, reach out to us. Let us know what you're looking to be interviewed about. Remember, we're not a sales show. Did you know we refuse 90% of our applicants because they come here looking to advertise? If you want to advertise, we're happy to take your advertisements, but as an advertiser between our show, not while we're on the air. We'll even give you a plug, but we don't do that for the people we interview. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Take care, everyone.